Okay guys, I'm making this video because I've been working on this for about 2 months. My computer has been waking me up at night, and every time I think I've fixed it, it'll wake up again. And it's been so intermittent that it's been driving me nuts. I first thought I had everything checked that I needed to make sure it wouldn't turn on, and then I realized that there was something else scheduled. So first thing I did was go into my command prompt. I googled around and found out you could do power cfg /?, and you got these list of commands that can tell you how to troubleshoot your computer. So you can look at the last wake or wake timers. If you look at last wake, for example, power cfg last wake, so it'll tell you the count. Now I've got mine turned off now, finally, which I'm glad to say. But let's do power cfg wake timers. You can see I have a timer set up to wake the computer, but I've changed the time actually on it. Point being is this: if you go to your control panel, because what you really want to know is how to do this, and if you go into power options and then go into change plan settings for the default, then go to advanced, get this little pop-up here, and if you go to sleep, allow wake timers, that's the first place you can go. If that's set to disable, that's the first step. So you want that turned off. And then you can look through here. There's other things as well. You can look in your plan settings here to see if something's turning on or off the computer. Of course, look in your device manager. So go into device manager, and you're also going to want to make sure that things like mice properties here, events, allow this device to wake the computer. So you can turn off your mouse, your keyboard. You can also turn off your network adapters. So you might have for example, my router. Let's see here. These can also be set to wake up the computer. So that's your first place to go. Turn those things off. But then there's also schedulers. So if you go to your operating system here and you look at schedule, task scheduler, if you run this as administrator, you can see all the things that are scheduled. And some of these are set, they have triggers or conditions to turn on at certain times of the day. And some are allowed to wake up your computer. So for example, Adobe Acrobat, I'll just look at the conditions here. It says wake the computer to run this task. I've unchecked it. It was set to wake it before, and then the trigger on this was at 1 p.m. every day. So you can change the times of these and also change the conditions. So you can change the trigger time, when it's going to happen, what's going to make it happen, and then you can set settings for the conditions that you'll allow. Will this wake the computer or not? Will you allow this to wake the computer, or will you allow this to do this if the computer's been idle or not idle? So there's some cool settings to manage this. So you'd think just because you have access to this that you could just manage everything that you want. And if you do log in as administrator, you should be able to. However, if you go to some of these more advanced ones, and this is the one that was waking up my computer over and over, update orchestrator right here. If you go to this one, and it was actually called update orchestrator reboot, if you go to this one and you look at conditions, mine's set, shouldn't be set to wake this computer to run this task. Let's see, the triggers. Okay, yeah. I have this set for 8:50 p.m. now, but it was set previously for the evening at like almost 1 a.m. So if we look at the properties of this one, this is where you can actually change things. So if I say wake the computer to run this task and I uncheck it, then I click OK, it now brings up this user that I've never heard of and a password that I don't know. So I tried all kinds of passwords. I tried different users, and nothing worked. I ended up figuring out that this is a privileged area that only sort of a super admin can access. In order to edit this, you actually have to install or be logged in as a high-level privileged administrator. So you can't just go in here and edit it and click save. It's not going to work. What you have to do is this. Close this out and go to a program. I was actually writing a blog about this so to share with people, but go to a program. It's called s-1-5-18. So if we go to s-1-5-18 here, I should have had it prepared for you so you don't have to wait. Sorry guys, it's an on-the-fly video, but I hope it helps you solve the problem you need. There it is, right there. Go to this URL right here. Right there. And then if you download this zip file, extract the zip file, and then install the click on the .bat file, because the bat file will run the program needed to get this installed. And then I put this, this is what the icon looks like. This will give you a little program now that you can run it as trusted installer. And then you can browse to the program that you want to run. So if I browse now to, and I have this set up to go to administrative tools. Here's the path, by the way, for your administrative tools, if you didn't know where that's at. Program data, Microsoft, Windows, start menu, programs, administrative tools. So now if I want to go in here and run my task scheduler, I can run it as a super user. So let's go back to the same area here. I was going down here to this updater and reboot. Click properties. Now that I'm in here, if I check wake the computer, I uncheck it, actually. I click OK, and it saves it. That's all you got to do. I hope that helps you guys. If it did, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. Please share. I'm having fun building my little YouTube channel, and I hope this is helpful to some of you guys. Talk to you later.